Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today, we're diving into one special coin that has stirred up some excitement recently, the 1994 P Washington Quarter. You heard that right. You may have a quarter in your pocket that's worth as much as $50,200. Intrigued? Let's dig into its history, why it's valuable, and what makes collectors so eager to get their hands on it. First, let's look at the coin itself. The Washington Quarter is a classic piece of American currency. The version we're talking about today, minted in 1994, comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which you can identify by the letter P printed just below Washington's neck on the obverse side. The Washington Quarter has a long history, originating in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, and it has since become a cornerstone of American change. The design of the Washington Quarter remained pretty much the same for decades until the Statehood Quarters program began in 1999. But the 1994 version features the classic design by John Flanagan, with George Washington's portrait on the front and the American bald eagle on the reverse. So, why are we talking about the 1994 P Washington Quarter, and why is it making headlines? Well, it turns out that some rare versions of this coin have sold for a whopping $50,200 at recent auctions. This value might leave you wondering, what makes this specific quarter worth thousands of dollars? Let's break down what makes these coins so special. First off, rarity and condition are key factors. Most of the 1994 P quarters are only worth their face value of 25 cents, and you might come across them in your pocket change. But there are certain varieties of the 1994 P quarter that are much more valuable. Specifically, we're talking about coins that have certain rare characteristics like errors or ones that are in absolutely pristine condition. The most notable factors that can make the value skyrocket are errors during the minting process. For example, the 1994 P quarter might have what's called a double die error. This means some of the details on the coin were accidentally struck twice, creating a slightly blurred or doubled image. Such errors make these coins highly desirable to collectors. Double die errors can often be seen on the letters or numbers on the coin. You might see doubling in the phrase, "In God We Trust," or on Washington's face itself. Any type of clear doubling makes the coin a rarity. If you come across one of these, it's time to get it checked out by a professional grader because it could be worth significantly more than just a quarter. Another critical aspect of a coin's value is its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional coin grading companies like PCGS or NGC. A grade of 70 means the coin is in perfect condition, essentially flawless under magnification. For the 1994 P quarter, a high-grade example, meaning a coin that has been exceptionally well preserved without any wear and tear, can significantly increase in value. Coins that have received a high mint state, MS, grade, such as MS-68 or MS-69, can be worth thousands of dollars. One of the reasons a 1994 P quarter recently reached $50,200 in an auction is precisely because of its condition. It was graded MS-69, which is incredibly rare for a circulated coin like this. Coins in such pristine condition are highly sought after by serious collectors, and they're willing to pay big bucks to add them to their collections. So, you might be asking yourself, how can you determine if you have one of these valuable coins? First, go through your change or any quarter collections you might have. Look carefully at the P mint mark, and then inspect the coin for any errors. You can also take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a grading company to see if it might be one of those rare finds. Keep in mind that while finding a $50,200 quarter is rare, it's not impossible. Every valuable coin found in circulation was discovered by someone just like you who took the time to look a little closer. It's also important to understand that even if you don't find one worth tens of thousands, a 1994 P quarter with a noticeable minting error or in uncirculated condition can still fetch a decent premium above its face value. You may also wonder about the differences between the Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, mint marks. For the 1994 Washington Quarter, The P mint mark indicates it was produced in Philadelphia, while the D represents Denver. The San Francisco Mint mainly produced proof versions, which are made specifically for collectors and are often more valuable due to their lower mintage and superior quality. Now let's talk about the current market value. A typical 1994 P Washington quarter in average circulated condition is worth around its face value, just 25 cents. However, quarters that are in mint state condition can be worth between $5 and $30, depending on the grade. The truly rare ones, like the MS-69 we mentioned earlier, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars, as seen in recent auctions. The current market value for one of these gems peaked at an impressive $50,200, and that's the kind of price that sends shockwaves through the coin collecting community. Why are collectors willing to pay so much for these coins? It comes down to a combination of rarity, historical significance, and the thrill of owning a piece of American history in near-perfect condition. Coins like the 1994 P quarter tell the story of our nation, its people, its leaders, and even its errors. Every flaw, every mark, every detail gives the coin a unique character that attracts collectors from all over the world. So, the next time you get a handful of change, take a closer look at those quarters. You might just stumble across a hidden treasure that's worth far more than you imagined. If you think you found something special, consider getting it authenticated and graded. Who knows? That 25-cent coin could be your ticket to a small fortune. We're diving into an incredible topic, the 2018 D Mint Mark $quarter coin. Believe it or not, some of these coins have reached a value as high as $30,200. Yes, you heard that right. We're going to take a look at the history of this coin, what makes it so valuable, and why collectors are willing to pay a fortune for it. Let's start with a bit of history. The 2018 D quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, an ambitious program launched by the United States Mint back in 2010. It celebrated iconic national parks and sites from every state, territory, and the District of Columbia. The D Mint mark on this coin means it was minted in Denver, Colorado, one of the three main U.S. mint facilities. 2018 marked the 9th year of this series, featuring 5 different national sites: Pictured Rocks in Michigan, Apostle Islands in Wisconsin, Voyagers in Minnesota, Cumberland Island in Georgia, and Block Island in Rhode Island. But today, we're interested specifically in the ones with a D Mint mark because one of these might be worth an absolute fortune. Now, why are some of these coins worth up to $30,200? You might be wondering, it's just a quarter. How can it be so valuable? Well, there are a few key reasons collectors are willing to spend big money on a 2018 D quarter. First, let's talk about rarity and mintage errors. Not every 2018 D quarter is worth thousands, of course. The ones that fetch high prices usually have something unique about them, such as a mint error. Errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, leading to anomalies like double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet defects. One example is the double die error. This happens when the die, which is used to stamp the coin design, shifts slightly, creating a doubled image. These types of errors are extremely sought after by collectors and can elevate a coin's value from just 25 cents to tens of thousands of dollars. Next up, condition and grading. Professional coin grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, grade coins on a scale from 1 to 70. Coins that are graded closer to mint state 70 are in the best possible condition, no scratches, no imperfections, just pure perfection. If you have a 2018 D quarter graded at MS-68 or higher, you're looking at a coin that could fetch a significant price. The coin that reached the astounding $30,200 value was in almost perfect condition, making it extremely rare and desirable. Most 2018 D quarters, especially those in circulation, are worth just their face value, 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples in good condition can be worth between $5 to $10 depending on their quality. Uncirculated rolls from the Denver Mint are often sold for a slight premium, particularly if the coins inside are in pristine condition. It's always a good idea to get them checked by a professional if you think you have something special. But what about the big money, those $30,200 coins? Well, these are almost always coins with major errors or ones graded at MS-69 or MS-70. In auctions, rarity and desirability determine the price. If there's a minting error that's not found on any other 2018 D quarters, collectors go absolutely wild for it, which can drive the price into the thousands or, in exceptional cases, tens of thousands of dollars. Recently, a unique 2018 D quarter with an ultra-rare minting error sold for $30,200 at an auction, leaving even the expert stunned. It was likely a combination of its rarity, immaculate condition, and the bidding war between passionate collectors that pushed the value so high. So, do you have a valuable 2018 D quarter sitting around in your coin jar at home? Here's how you can find out. Inspect for errors ***. Grab a magnifying glass and take a good look at the details. Pay close attention to Washington's face, the lettering, and any potential doubling of images. Errors like these are often subtle, but if you spot one, you might have something truly special. Check the condition ***. Look for any scratches, nicks, or discolorations. The better the condition, the higher the potential value. If your coin looks uncirculated, it's worth getting graded by a professional service. Get a professional opinion ***. Services like PCGS and NGC will grade your coin for a fee. If they give your 2018 D quarter a high grade, you could be looking at a very valuable coin. So there you have it, folks. The 2018 D Mint Mark quarter might be worth a whole lot more than you think. While most of them will just be worth 25 cents, some are absolute treasures waiting to be discovered. It all comes down to rarity, errors, and condition. Remember, that $30,200 coin didn't get there by accident, it was a combination of perfect circumstances, which makes coin collecting so exciting. Have you found any interesting 2018 D quarters in your change lately? Maybe you've got one with a cool error or in pristine condition. Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating coin collecting stories and updates. Who knows, your next quarter might just be worth a fortune. We're talking about a special coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world, the 1992 P Washington quarter dollar. You heard that right, a common-looking quarter that could be worth a whopping $40,200 today. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive right in. Before we get into the rare 1992 P quarter, let's briefly touch on the history of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter first entered circulation in 1932, designed by John Flanagan, to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. This quarter became an iconic symbol of American currency, bearing Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, up until it transitioned to different commemorative designs in later years. In 1992, the Washington quarter was still in its classic form, featuring the familiar eagle on the reverse. But this year produced a quarter that's more than meets the eye, a quarter that collectors are clamoring for. Now, let's talk specifically about the 1992 P Washington quarter. This coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is what the P mint mark stands for. In 1992, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced millions of quarters. No big deal, right? Most of these were just your ordinary quarters, ready for day-to-day transactions. But hidden among these regular quarters, something extraordinary happened, a small mistake that led to a huge payoff for those who found it. The rare variant we are talking about is known as the 1992 Close AM quarter. It is a variety that collectors are eager to get their hands on because of a unique error that occurred during the minting process. But what exactly makes it so special? Let me explain. The key to understanding the rarity of the 1992 P quarter is a simple but significant detail on the reverse of the coin. Normally, The letters AM in America on the reverse side are spaced slightly apart, which is called the wide AM. However, a small number of 1,992 quarters minted in Philadelphia and Denver mistakenly received the proof dies intended for special collector sets. These proof dies had the letters AM almost touching each other, hence the term close AM. Now, you might wonder, why does a small difference in spacing matter? Well, in the coin collecting world, mint errors and varieties are extremely sought after because they're so rare. It's not just about the silver or gold value, it's about having a one-of-a-kind piece of history. And in the case of the 1992 P. Washington quarter with the close AM, it's estimated that only a very small number made it into circulation, which is why it's now fetching tens of thousands of dollars in the market. So, how can you tell if the 1992 P quarter sitting in your pocket or change jar might be worth $40,200? Let's go through some steps to help you identify it. First, get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You'll need a good, close look at the reverse side of the coin, specifically at the word America. If the letters A and M are so close that they almost touch, then you might just have one of the rare close AM varieties. Additionally, make sure to check for the mint mark P, which means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. Another important factor is the condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. The value skyrockets for coins in better condition, so if your quarter looks pristine, it could be worth significantly more. Keep in mind that the highest priced coins are those in mint state condition, ideally MS 65 or above. The record price for a 1992 P close AM quarter in MS 67 condition sold for an astounding $40,200 at auction. But even if your coin isn't in perfect condition, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk about the current market value and why this coin is worth so much money today. The demand for error coins has surged in recent years, as collectors are always on the lookout for rare varieties and interesting mistakes. The 1992 P close AM quarter is particularly intriguing because it was a genuine error, created unintentionally and slipped into general circulation. Right now, if you have a verified 1992 P close AM quarter in excellent condition, you could be looking at offers ranging from $5,000 to over $40,000, depending on the grade. The coin's value comes from its rarity and the fact that it represents an interesting glitch in the minting process. Dealers and collectors often attend auctions or browse marketplaces like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and other numismatic auction houses to get their hands on these rare finds. The recent sale that hit $40,200 was for a coin in nearly pristine condition, making it one of the highest sales for a Washington quarter in recent years. So, what should you do if you think you have a 1992 P close AM quarter? Here are a few tips to help you out. First, be sure to properly inspect your quarters, don't just glance at them. The difference between a close AM and a wide AM is subtle, so it requires a careful eye. If you think you've got the right coin, it's a good idea to send it in for grading to a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Grading not only verifies its authenticity but also provides a reliable value based on its condition. Next, protect your valuable coins. Make sure they're stored in a safe environment, ideally in a coin capsule or an airtight container to prevent wear and tear. Even minor scratches can significantly impact a coin's value. This story goes to show that valuable coins aren't just something you find in a treasure chest or buy at an auction. They can be sitting in your pocket, hiding in a jar, or passed to you as change at the grocery store. The 1992 P Washington quarter with the close AM variety is a perfect example of how an everyday coin can turn into a small fortune if you know what to look for. Who knows? The next time you're sorting through your change, you could find a little piece of history worth thousands. So, keep your eyes peeled, folks. We're focusing on an unexpected gem in the world of American coinage, the 1991 D Washington quarter dollar. Believe it or not, this seemingly ordinary coin can be worth as much as $60,200. Sounds crazy, right? Let's explore why. Stick around till the end to discover what makes this quarter so special and how you can identify whether you have one that's worth big bucks. Alright, let's begin by talking a little bit about the background of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Initially, the quarter was designed by John Flanagan, and his design has stood the test of time, appearing on the coin for decades. Fast forward to 1991, and the Washington quarter was still in full swing. The D Mint mark indicates that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major mints in the U.S. that plays a significant role in supplying the nation's coinage. In 1991, millions of these quarters were produced, making it seem like just another ordinary year for the Washington quarter. But what makes the 1991 D so unique that it could fetch a staggering $60,200 at auction? Well, there are a few factors that determine the value of a coin, and the 1991 D quarter is no exception. These factors are: even though millions of these coins were minted, certain variations or conditions make specific coins rare. Errors made during the minting process can make coins extremely valuable. Coins in pristine condition, often graded by professional organizations like the PCGS or NGC, can fetch thousands of dollars if collectors are particularly interested in a specific year, series, or era. Prices can skyrocket. Now, let's break down why the 1991 D Washington quarter has caught the attention of collectors and why it could be worth such a substantial sum. First, let's talk about rarity and mint errors. The 1991 D quarter itself isn't particularly rare, considering its high mintage numbers, but some of these coins have what is called a mint state grading of MS67 or above. That's where things start to get interesting. Let me explain what that means. The MS67 grade refers to a nearly perfect coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being flawless. An MS67 grade means that the coin has very few imperfections, visible only under magnification. Out of the millions of 1991 D quarters minted, only a very small number have been found to be in such superb condition. As a result, coins graded MS67 or higher are extremely rare, and rarity always drives up value. Only a handful of 1991 D quarters have been found in this impeccable state, which is why they can command such high prices, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars. Now, what about that $60,200 price tag? Well, in recent years, certain 1991 D quarters have been sold at auction for eye-watering prices due to their exceptional condition. The key to these sales is often the third-party grading by institutions like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. When a 1991 D quarter is graded as MS68, it becomes an extremely rare find. One of these coins fetched an astonishing $60,200 at a high-profile auction, simply because it was one of the finest known examples in that condition. Imagine a coin that most of us would spend on a pack of gum turning out to be worth as much as a luxury car. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's all about finding that rare gem hidden in plain sight. Another factor that can significantly impact the value of the 1991 D quarter is the presence of minting errors. Errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or even issues with the planchet can turn a regular quarter into a valuable collector's item. These types of errors occur during the minting process and are relatively rare, which is why they're so sought after by collectors. In some cases, these error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. So, how can you tell if your 1991 D Washington quarter is worth more than 25 cents? Here are a few tips. Look for the D mint mark, located on the obverse side of the coin, right next to Washington's ponytail. Without the D, you've got a Philadelphia Mint coin, which is a different story altogether. Does the coin look like it just came out of a mint roll, with minimal scratches or imperfections? If so, you might be looking at a high-grade coin. Use a magnifying glass to check for any noticeable errors, like doubling of letters or numbers, or unusual marks on the surface. If you think your coin is in exceptional condition, it's best to get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. This will help determine its true market value. As of now, most 1991 quarters in circulated condition are only worth their face value, 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples can be worth a bit more, typically ranging from $1 to $10, depending on the quality. But remember, if you have a coin that is graded MS67 or higher, you're looking at a potential jackpot of thousands of dollars, and if it's MS68, that's where the value really starts climbing into the tens of thousands, hence the recent sale of $60,200. So, if you have a jar of old coins sitting around, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You might just have a piece of American history that's worth a small fortune. The 1991 Washington quarter might look like any other quarter, but as we've seen, the details matter. High grades, rare errors, and the demand from collectors can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary fin. Coin collecting is as much about the history and stories behind the coins as it is about their monetary value. The 1991 Washington quarter is a perfect example of how a common coin can surprise us all. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the 1991 Washington quarter dollar. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more fascinating coin stories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And, of course, let me know in the comments, do you have a 1991 quarter in your collection? I'd love to hear your stories. We're diving into a fascinating story that involves a simple piece of change, something you might just find in your pocket or old coin jar, the 1990 Washington quarter dollar. But wait, could this ordinary-looking quarter actually be worth a lot of money? Yes, you heard that right, up to an astonishing $65,200. Grab your magnifying glasses, collectors, because we're about to explore the history, the value, and what makes this quarter so special. Let's find out if you have one of these treasures in your possession. Before we get into the specifics of the 1990 quarter, let's take a step back in time and briefly talk about the history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design was created by John Flanagan, and it has become a staple of American currency ever since. For decades, these quarters featured Washington's dignified profile on the obverse and a proud eagle on the reverse. The coin has seen some changes, especially with the state quarter program beginning in 1999, but during 1990, we were still in that classic phase with the eagle on the reverse. Now, the 1990 Washington quarter was minted in Denver, and while millions were produced, certain qualities make a few of them stand out today. And that's where things get interesting. Alright, let's focus on the 1990 Washington quarter. So, what makes this quarter worth more than just 25 cents? The truth lies in the small details, the kind of details that can make all the difference to collectors. One of the key factors for this coin's value is its condition, specifically coins that have been graded as being in pristine, mint state, condition. Coins that have managed to stay in perfect shape since the day they were minted are extraordinarily rare. Now, in the world of coin collecting, condition is king. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. A coin graded MS67 or higher is considered to be in near-perfect condition, which is almost unheard of for something as common as a Washington quarter. But a 1990 quarter that achieves this kind of grade can be extremely valuable, particularly if it has an attractive shine, sharp details, and no visible scratches or marks. So, why are we talking about $65,200? Well, in recent years, a 1990 Washington quarter in exceptional condition made headlines by being sold for a staggering $65,200 at auction. This specific coin was graded as MS68 by PCGS, which meant it was almost flawless. It had brilliant luster and immaculate details, which are incredibly rare for a coin that was intended for everyday use. Think about it, most quarters go through years of wear and tear. They're dropped, tossed, spent, and handled by countless people. Finding one in such perfect condition is almost like finding a needle in a haystack. The rarity of such a high grade, coupled with the demand among collectors for top-notch examples, is what drove the value of this coin up to that extraordinary price. Now, you might be wondering, what should you look for if you have a 1990D quarter? Well, here are some key factors that can influence the value. As I mentioned earlier, condition is everything. If your quarter has any visible scratches, discoloration, or wear, it's not going to be worth $65,200. But if it looks like it just came out of the mint, you may be in luck. Look for that shiny luster, sharp details, and no signs of circulation. The D mint mark on the 1990 Washington quarter signifies that it was minted in Denver. Coins from Denver and Philadelphia can sometimes have slight differences in quality, which collectors find fascinating. Make sure you check for that tiny D under the eagle on the reverse side. Another factor that can affect the value is if the coin has any errors or die varieties. Errors such as double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, or even misprints can make the coin significantly more valuable. Collectors love these mistakes because they tell a unique story about how the coin was made. Collectors are also willing to pay top dollar for coins that have something called eye appeal. This means that the coin just looks amazing, the shine, the color, and the overall aesthetic. Even if a coin has a high technical grade, its visual attractiveness can make it even more desirable. If you think you found a 1990D quarter that could be worth a lot, the next step is to have it graded by a professional service. Organizations like PCGS or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, specialize in authenticating and grading coins, and they will give your coin an official grade that can significantly increase its value if it's in excellent condition. Getting your coin graded can be a bit pricey, with fees ranging from $30 to $100 or more, depending on the value of the coin. However, if your quarter could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, it's certainly worth the investment. Let's talk a little about the current market. Right now, rare coins, particularly those in mint state condition, are fetching high prices at auctions. The coin market has seen some ups and downs over the years, but high-quality coins always maintain their value. If you have a 1990D quarter that you think could be valuable, you might want to consider selling it at an auction or through a reputable coin dealer. Online auction platforms like Heritage Auctions or even eBay can be good places to sell rare coins, but always make sure you're working with a trusted seller or buyer to avoid scams. The coin collecting community is generally very supportive, but like in any market, there can be bad actors. So, could you have a valuable 1990D Washington quarter sitting in your change jar right now? It's absolutely possible. The key is to check your coins carefully. Pay attention to the mint mark, the condition, and any unique features that could make your quarter a standout. You never know, a simple quarter could end up funding your next big adventure or even help pay off some major bills. We're diving deep into the 1973 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that can fetch an astonishing $85,200 at auction. We'll explore its history, what makes it so valuable, and how you can determine if you have one of these rare gems hiding in your change jar. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be inspired to start rummaging through your old coins. First, let's rewind to understand the history of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932, designed by John Flanagan, to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Initially intended as a one-year commemorative coin, its design was so well received that it continued to be minted year after year. Fast forward to 1973, and we find ourselves in an interesting period in American numismatics. The U.S. Mint was preparing for the big change in 1976 when bicentennial coins would celebrate 200 years of American independence. But in 1973, the standard Washington quarter was still being produced. However, there are some unique characteristics about this year that have intrigued collectors for decades. So what exactly makes the 1973 Washington quarter so special, and why could it be worth thousands of dollars? Let's start with the basics. The 1973 Washington quarter was produced at 3 different U.S. mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The quarters from Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while the Denver coins have a small D mint mark, and the San Francisco coins bear an S mint mark. The coins produced at San Francisco were proof coins, which means they were specially struck for collectors using polished dies, giving them a beautiful mirror-like finish. The standard circulation coins were struck in large numbers, over 346 million from Philadelphia and 232 million from Denver. So, on the surface, the 1973 Washington quarter isn't exactly rare, at least not in your regular, worn-out pocket change. But here's where it gets interesting: the condition and specific errors play a huge role in determining its value. High-quality mint state coins, those that are uncirculated and graded MS, mint state, 67 or above, can fetch impressive prices at auctions. In particular, some rare error coins and exceptionally well-preserved proof coins can be worth up to $85,200. Okay, so let's get to the heart of the matter. Why can a 1973 Washington quarter reach a value as high as $85,200? There are several key factors that drive up the value of this coin. The first factor is the coin's condition, graded on the Sheldon scale. Coins that have been graded MS 67, MS 68, or even MS 69 are extremely rare for the 1973 quarter. This means the coin must look almost flawless, with virtually no scratches or marks visible to the naked eye. Such coins are usually found in coin rolls, mint sets, or collections that have been carefully stored for years. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is discovering an error coin. In 1973, there were a few notable errors that collectors go wild for. Some of these include double die strikes, off-center errors, or coins that have been struck on planchets that were meant for other denominations. For instance, an off-center or double die quarter from 1973 can command an extremely high price due to its uniqueness and rarity. Proof coins minted in San Francisco were not intended for circulation but were created specifically for collectors. These coins were struck multiple times, giving them incredibly sharp details and a mirror-like finish. A 1973 S-proof quarter in pristine condition, particularly those graded PF, proof, 69 or PF 70 deep cameo, can also be quite valuable. Collectors are always seeking the best examples, and that drives prices up significantly. When it comes to coin grading, population rarity plays a huge role in its value. If a particular coin is one of only a handful graded in high condition, demand can significantly outstrip supply. For the 1973 Washington quarter, very few have been graded at MS 68 or above, making these coins extremely desirable for top-tier collectors. So now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1973 quarter is worth a fortune? Well, let's break down the steps to check if your coin could be one of those valuable treasures. First, check for the mint mark. Quarters from Denver have a small, D mint mark on the obverse, front, side of the coin, while proof coins from San Francisco have an S mint mark. If you don't see a mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, assess the condition of your coin. A regular 1973 quarter in heavily circulated condition might only be worth its face value, 25 cents. But if it looks almost new, without scratches, wear, or discoloration, it could be worth sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Take a closer look at your coin under a magnifying glass. Do you see any doubling of the text or images? Are there any off-center strikes or unusual marks? These kinds of errors can substantially increase the coin's value. Lastly, it's worth checking recent auction results. Some 1973 quarters in exceptional condition have fetched thousands of dollars. For instance, one such coin graded at MS 68 recently sold for $85,200 at auction, due to its rarity in that condition. As of today, the market value of a 1973 Washington quarter varies greatly based on its condition and type. For a circulated 1973 quarter from Philadelphia or Denver, the value typically ranges from 25 cents to a couple of dollars. However, if you have an uncirculated quarter graded at MS 67 or MS 68, you could be looking at a value between $1,000 and $5,000 or more. The proof coins from San Francisco, especially those graded at PF 69 deep cameo, could be worth between $50 and $150. But if you have one of those exceptionally rare proof coins graded at the highest level, or an error coin, then you're potentially looking at values in the tens of thousands of dollars. And let's not forget, the highest sale on record so far for a 1973 Washington quarter was an astonishing $85,200. This price reflects the rarity, condition, and intense competition among collectors to own such a unique piece of history. So, there you have it, the fascinating story of the 1973 Washington quarter. What might seem like just another coin in your pocket could be a valuable collector's item, worth far more than just 25 cents. Whether it's a pristine mint state example, a rare proof, or a unique error, the value of these coins can reach staggering heights that I encourage you to dig through your collection, check those old piggy banks, and maybe even ask your relatives if they have any old coins lying around. Who knows, you might just stumble upon a hidden treasure worth $85,200. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into valuable coins and collectibles. And let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin in your change? I'd love to hear your. We're going to talk about a very special coin that has been making waves among collectors, the 1982 D Washington quarter dollar. Believe it or not, this coin, once a common piece of pocket change, could now be worth as much as $75,200. Stick around, and I'll tell you why this particular quarter is so special, its intriguing history, and how you can determine if you have one of these valuable gems in your collection. To understand why the 1982 D Washington quarter dollar is so valuable, we need to start with a bit of history. The 1982 Washington quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series that began in 1932 in honor of the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse side features the iconic portrait of America's first president, while the reverse side shows the unmistakable image of a bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows. But what makes the 1982 quarters, especially the ones minted in Denver, the 1982 D, so unique? Well, that's where things get really interesting. The U.S. Mint has always produced quarters in mass quantities, but 1982 was a peculiar year for coin collectors. In 1982 and 1983, the Mint faced some serious financial and logistical challenges. During this time, the Mint did not produce official mint sets, which are those specially packaged collections that collectors could buy to easily complete their collections. The lack of mint sets meant that any high-quality quarters from 1982 would have to be found in circulation, which is incredibly rare due to natural wear and tear. The 1982 D quarter, minted in Denver, faced a similar situation. Because no collector sets were produced, it's incredibly difficult to find one of these coins in mint state condition. Most of the coins from this year have been used, handled, and worn down over decades. This is precisely why finding a well-preserved 1982 D quarter is like striking gold in the world of numismatics. To add even more to the intrigue, the quality control at the Denver Mint in 1982 wasn't exactly perfect. Many of the quarters produced had various imperfections, ranging from weak strikes to inconsistent finishes. This makes a well-struck, high-grade example even more sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk numbers. If you've got a 1982 D Washington quarter in your collection, how much is it actually worth? The value of the 1982 D quarter depends heavily on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Most of the 1982 D quarters that you'll find in circulation will likely fall into a much lower grade, perhaps very fine, VF, or extremely fine, XF, and may only be worth a couple of dollars. But here's the kicker, if you can find a 1982 D quarter that's been graded mint state 66 or higher, you're looking at a coin that could sell for tens of thousands of dollars. And here's where the story gets even better. In 2022, a 1982 D Washington quarter in almost pristine condition, graded as MS67 Plus by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, sold at auction for an incredible $75,200. Yes, you heard that right, a quarter that once bought you a gumball is now worth more than most luxury cars. So, What should you be looking for if you want to find one of these rare and valuable 1982 D quarters? First, look for the D mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side of the coin. This indicates that it was minted in Denver. Next, take a very close look at the coin's condition. Ideally, you want a coin with minimal scratches, a strong, clear strike, and no signs of wear. You might even consider sending the coin to a professional grading service if it looks promising. Now, you might be wondering, can I really find one of these quarters in my change? The answer is, yes, it's possible, though extremely rare. Many of these valuable coins are sitting in coin collections, coin rolls, or even in forgotten jars at home. If you're a collector, it's always a great idea to check your stash of quarters from the 1980s. Who knows? You could be holding on to a small fortune without even realizing it. Another interesting point to mention is that coin dealers and auctions are always on the lookout for high-grade 1982 D quarters. If you think you have one that's in exceptional condition, getting it professionally graded can significantly increase its value. Services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, providing it with a certification that gives potential buyers confidence in its value. But remember, there is a cost to grading coins, so it's only worth it if you genuinely believe your 1982 D quarter is in top condition, ideally MS66 or higher. So, why is the 1982 D Washington quarter so rare? To recap, it all comes down to the lack of mint sets, the quality issues at the Denver Mint, and the difficulty of finding a high-grade coin from general circulation. This combination of factors makes the 1982 D quarter an incredibly elusive and valuable find. For all of you coin enthusiasts out there, this is a reminder that rare and valuable coins can come from the most unexpected places. Sometimes, they're hidden right in our spare change. The 1982 D Washington quarter dollar is a perfect example of how an ordinary coin can become extraordinary due to its condition, rarity, and a bit of history. If you found today's video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Coin Collecting Adventures. We love sharing stories about hidden treasures, valuable finds, and the history behind some of the world's most fascinating coins. Let us know in the comments, do you have any quarters from 1982, and have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. You never know when a piece of history, worth tens of thousands of dollars, might be sitting right in your